the meeting to order. It is January 20th, 2026, 7:30, and the City Council meeting is in order. So can we call the roll, please, Madam Clerk?
Councillor Ash. Present. Councillor DeBona.
Present.
Councillor Hughley.
Present.
Councillor Jacobs.
Present.
Councillor McKee.
Present.
Councillor Riley.
Present.
Councillor Ryan.
Present.
Councillor Yuen.
Present.
President Mahoney.
Present.
9 members, you have a quorum.
All right, we're going to open the meeting with a moment of silence. Before we do that tonight, though, I'd just like to ask everyone to join me in a moment of silence to remember the former Mayor Arthur Tobin and his wife Shirley Tobin and former Mayor James Sheets, all of whom passed away this past weekend. They'll be deeply missed by their families and friends and by the City of Quincy. Thank you. Now, if we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Could we have the open meeting law read in, please?
Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived, by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible.
Thank you very much. And moving on to the first agenda, Madam Clerk, could you announce that, please?
Honoring of Ryan Healy and Kathy Nugent.
Can I approach the well?
Yes.
Good evening. It's my honor tonight to introduce two citizens of Quincy from Ward 1, Ryan Healy, who is right over here, and Kathleen Nugent over here behind me, who's also a city building inspector here in Quincy, and Ryan is a police cadet in Newton. A few weeks ago, it was brought to my attention that there was an event at Off the Hook Bar and Grill down in Howe's Neck where a patron was choking on their food, and Kathleen Nugent noticed this was happening and was happening outside the restaurant, and ran back in and got Mr. Healy, who performed a successful Heimlich maneuver, saving that person's life. And I just thought it was, worthwhile to recognize them for being able to act so calm, cool, and collected during such a difficult situation. So, if they want to come up. And if we could just have a recess so we could take pictures in the well for their families, that would be much appreciated.
Okay. We're just taking a moment of recess. We're back in session. All right. Moving on to item number 1, Madam Clerk.
2026-006, ordinance, rules, safeguard and transparency, public access to information, and democratic participation in the city council proceedings.
I recognize Councilor Young.
Thank you. Madam President, colleagues, I'm introducing this ordinance because the transparency is not just a value we talk about. It's something residents need to experience in practice. Under the open meeting law, agendas are posted 48 hours in advance, but the supporting materials are often not available to the public or to councilors until the meeting itself. While councilors can discuss items at a later meeting, receiving materials in advance allow us to ask informed questions during the meeting when items are first presented, making meetings more efficient and enabling the public to engage more effectively. This ordinance sets a clear expectation that when supporting materials are reasonably available, they should be shared in a timely way. I recognize there may be practical considerations, such as meeting ADA compliance, but the technical challenges should not be used as an excuse to avoid doing the right thing, safeguarding public access to information. This ordinance is about creating a consistent, transparent process that helps both the public and the council do our work better. I look forward to discussing the details and the implementation in committee. By saying that, I move that the City Council refer order number 2026-006 to the Ordinance and the Rules Committees.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Do I have to read a roll call vote? Do we need a roll call on that? All those in favor? Aye. Okay. So moving on to item number 2.
2026-007, ordinance rules establishing fiscal safeguards, reserve protections, and financial transparency.
So I'm going to waive the reading. This one I brought in. This is an ordinance to enhance our fiscal oversight and protect city reserves, including measures for clear reporting, disclosures of one-time versus recurring revenues, and maintaining long-term financial sustainability. I would like to move this into, as a motion, I'm going to actually ask Debbie to do this, but we're going to want to bring this into finance and oversight with the hopes that we can have our chief financial officer come and speak with us in regards to these as well. So I'm looking for a motion for this. Motion by Debbie.
Yes, I move that City Council refer order number 2026-007 to the Finance and Oversight Committees for review and recommendation.
And that's all those in favor, right? All those in favor? Okay. The ayes have it. And we're moving on to item number 3.
2026-008, order amending council rules.
I object.
On the objection?
Going on to number 4, 2026-009, ordinance amending municipal code, chapter 66, article 3, city auditors strengthening the powers of the auditor.
Okay, so that was number 4. This ordinance is proposing to clarify and strengthen the independent oversight authority for the city auditor by expressing granting the auditor unrestricted authority to examine, audit, and evaluate the city books, records, accounts, and fiscal systems across all departments and funds. It also establishes additional reporting requirements, including quarterly financial oversight reports to the city council and annual audits of significant capital projects. These enhancements are intended to improve fiscal accountability and transparency and public confidence in the municipal financial management. Historically, the city auditor's authority in Quincy was altered as part of the board's reorganization in city government in 2008. In that year, the city council adopted ordinance number 2008-272, establishing the Department of Municipal Finance, which assumed all accounting and financial responsibilities that previously had been performed by or under the authority of the city auditor. Under that structure, many traditional auditing and internal financial review functions were centralized in that department. whose director is appointed by the mayor rather than the elected council, effectively reducing the auditor's operational oversight role. The current proposal seeks to restore and clarify the auditor's independent oversight role by ensuring unrestricted access to the city's financial records and systems, subject only to lawful protections, recording regular independent financial and performance audits, including large capital projects, mandating quarterly public oversight reports in council, and reinforcing the auditor's ability to report independently in financially conditions affecting the city. By reinforcing these authorities, the ordinance aims to strengthen the internal accountability structure, provide the council and the public with more timely, complete financial information, and support the city's long-term fiscal goals. I'm going to look for a motion for that. Debbie, Council.
Yes, hi. I move that the City Council refer Order Number 2026, amending the municipal code to strengthen the powers and independence of the city auditor to enhance transparency, financial oversight, and accountability, and place this item into ordinance and oversight committees.
She said 6.
I'll second that.
All those in favor? Aye. Did you need clarification?
No.
Okay. Moving on to number 5.
2026-010, ordinance amending Chapter 270 sewer water, adding Article 4, prohibited discharge and enforcement.
On that order? Council Yuan?
Upon the recommendation of the Commissioner of Public...
Question.
Oh, she has a question.
Okay.
I have a couple questions I would like to ask Commissioner of Public Works, Mr. Granziolo.
Do we have to do the motion first?
Through you, Madam Chair. Sorry, Madam President. Commissioner Grazioso is here on behalf of Mayor Koch, introducing this ordinance. The commissioner will give an overview of the amendments to Chapter 270 and to Chapter 300, and then similarly afterwards, we'll entertain a motion to move these into ordinance and DPW committees. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you.
Good evening. Through you, tonight we're asking for consideration to update the city code regarding prohibited discharges for sewer and stormwater. As a brief background, DPW has been working with the City Inspectional Services Department and Health Department to educate the Quincy's 500-plus licensed food establishments about the proper use of city sewer and stormwater system. We have focused on the licensed food establishments because of prohibited food, discharge of fats, oils, and grease into our sewer systems from restaurants and sometimes food production facilities, which has created sewer capacity limitations and sometimes blockages. In addition, fats, oils, and grease have entered the stormwater collection systems by way of direct and indirect discharges, which can lead to water quality issues. DPW performs fats, oils, and grease emergency response efforts and/or cleanup efforts more often than it's acceptable. DPW has also found that we need to increase the strength of our city code regarding the department's abilities to address systemic noncompliance or negligent use of public infrastructure, and if necessary, issue citations for major or continued prohibited discharges, which impact our sewer system and our drainage system. That is why we're asking for your consideration tonight for these code changes to Chapter 270 Water and Sewer and Chapter 300 Stormwater Management. I respectfully request that they are advertised and moved into the ordinance and DPW committees, where we will be able to give a full presentation and answer any questions you may have. And I believe the presentation has been given to you that we will be giving into the committee at a later date.
Fines of 1,000, 2,500, and 5,000 are significant amounts for residents and small restaurants. When fines are this high, mistakes can seriously hurt people, especially when there is no option to appeal in the current process. That said, Commissioner, can you explain what oversight exists within the DPW when these fines are issued, and how the department ensures enforcement is fair and the mistakes are identified and corrected?
I'll be prepared to talk about that in the committee meeting. We had a presentation, but we were asked to give that in the committee meeting, so.
Councilor Ewan, so we're going to move this into committee, and the full presentation will be done in the ordinance committee, so it can be advertised and people can come and we can have all those questions ready. And if you have questions in advance, you can give them to the department head so they can have those questions ready for you.
Madam President, so in the committee meeting, the public also can attend to hear that.
Well, you can have a public forum for the committee meeting too, yes.
Thank you,
You're very
Madam
welcome.
President.
Councilor Ash?
Nothing further, Madam President. Thank you, Commissioner. We'll look forward to, I'm sure your department will have any and all questions and materials ready. I know I received a PowerPoint today that you'll be presenting on in the subcommittee meeting, so certainly we look forward to that presentation, and I appreciate the overview. And I would make a motion to move this into ordinance and DPW.
Okay.
I second.
Okay, and on the motion? Councilor McKee?
Do we do the vote, yea and nay first, to put
No.
that into committee?
Nope, it's been, the motion's been made and seconded by Councilor Ryan, and you had on something on the motion, so do you have a question on the motion?
I had a point of order about the objection.
Oh,
actually.
okay. That's gone.
That's gone.
That's gone. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So moving back, so is this a yea or nay?
Yeah.
So all those in favor? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Councilor Ashley, do you want to do the next one too? We have to do them separately.
Number 6.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes,
sorry,
the
didn't hear.
second ordinance, I'm sorry, number 6 on our agenda, 2026-011, amending Chapter 300 Stormwater Management, Section 14D, and enforcement violations and penalties. I'd make a motion to move this to ordinance and DPW committees.
Do we have a second? Second. All those in favor? Aye. Okay. Moving on to number 7, Madam Clerk.
2026-012, ordinance amending municipal code, Chapter 72, Article 1, job classification and salary, Section 72-1, official salary schedule, mayor.
Councilor DeBona.
Thank you, Madam President. If I could, I'd like to make a motion to move this into ordinance.
Do we have a second?
Second?
Second by Ms. McGee. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. We're moving on to order number 8.
2026-013, order to repeal of mayor's...
Object.
Point of order. Can we please have a vote to move this into committee?
After it's objected to, it has no more, there's no more conversation about it until the next meeting. It goes on the agenda
I
as,
do it right away. Sorry, thank you. Okay. Could you repeat that so I can understand the rule?
it's Rule 23 in your book. And it says, objection, an ordinance, order, or resolution may be passed through all its stages of legislation in one session, provided that no member of the council objects to. But if any member of the council objects, the measure shall be postponed for that meeting. Rule 23 cannot be suspended.
Okay.
Councilor Yan.
I'm not clear. So according to that rule, only when the item have to go through, pass through every process at that meeting, and only one member object, then it can stop. But this one, we just move it to the ordinance committee. It's not voted yet, so it doesn't count.
It's up to the counselor. to object, and if they do so, then it would go on to the next agenda.
Okay.
Did you have a question, Judy? No. Okay. All right, we're just going to move on, and we'll bring it back to the next meeting. Okay, moving on. Item number 9.
2026-014, order to repeal.
I object.
City Council refer order 2026.
I already objected. I got that right as a counselor.
Good for you. Moving on to order number 10.
2026-015,
I object.
Councilor Yan.
Councilor can only object one time during the whole meeting. I would like to clarify with either city clerk or the solicitor.
It does not say that anywhere here. Any ordinance, order, or resolution may be passed through all stages of legislation in one session, provided that no member of the council object thereto. But if any member of the council objects, the measure shall be postponed for that meeting. Rule 23 cannot be suspended. Moving on.
Solicitor Timmons, do you think you could come up and maybe just explain a little bit more? I'm just going to make,
Yeah.
just for fun.
Good evening, Madam President. The council rules expressly provide that the parliamentarian is the city clerk. Further expressly provides, I believe, that I cannot do what I've just been asked to do.
That's fine.
However, to provide an opinion, there's no limitation on objections. And these are 3 related matters, so it seems that a member of the council is concerned about this particular issue. And he's lodged objections timely on each one, so
Thank you
I
very
would
much.
agree. I don't disagree with the parliamentarian, Madam Clerk.
I understand. Thank you. So where are we now?
11.
So moving on to number 11.
2026-016, order.
I object.
All right, moving on to item number 12.
2026-017, order approval of location of lease for solar energy implementation on Swanham Elementary School. Mr.
Before this constituted body for the first time. For those I haven't met personally, I am Paul Hines, Commissioner of the Department of Public Buildings. Okay.
Is he introducing it? It's going to committee. No, it's going to committee.
Okay, someone needs to motion first.
All right, so,
I'd like to make a motion that the city council refer order number 2026-017, authorizing the mayor to execute a lease and related agreements for the implementation of solar energy project at the Squantum Elementary School to the public buildings and oversight committees for review and recommendation.
second by Ms. Bryant. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Oh, thank you.
thanks. Moving on to item number 13.
Number 13, 2026-018, resolve adoption of Mass General Law, Chapter 59, Section 5C, establishing a residential property exemption.
Rick Nyson.
Yes, introducing this resolution requesting that the administration and Board of Assessors to present an analysis on the impact of adopting a residential property tax exemption under Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 59, Section 5C, to support housing affordability for Quincy residents. This is something that has been brought forth in prior council sessions. It has been asked for repeatedly by our residents, and I would like to ask that we move this into ordinance and oversight committees.
Second.
All right. On the motion, Counselor DeBona.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Madam President. Just want to let you know, I talked to Clerk of Committees, Jennifer Manning, recently over the last days, and she's added me to co-sponsoring this item on the agenda, this particular resolve. So just want to let the public know that I'm going to co-sponsor this with the rest of the counselors. I just want to put that into the record.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye. All right, moving on to item number 14.
2026-019, a gift for $5,000 from Copeland Family Foundation, Inc. to the Friends of Wollaston Beach.
Counselor Riley.
Yes, I'd like to motion that we accept this gift of $5,000 from the Copeland Family Foundation to the Friends of Wollaston Beach.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Oh, we need a roll call for them, sorry. Roll call.
Okay. Counselor Ash. Yes. Counselor DeBona.
Yes.
Counselor Hughley.
Yes.
Counselor Jacob. Yes. Counselor McKee.
Yes.
Counselor Riley.
Yes.
Counselor Ryan.
Yes.
Counselor Yen.
Yes.
President Mahoney.
Yes.
9 members.
And if we could just please send a note of acknowledgement, thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, that concludes our agenda items. Now we're moving on to approval of previous minutes from January 5th, 2026. I'm going to need a motion to approve. Counselor DeBona, seconded by? All those in favor? All right. All right, communications and reports from the mayor and city officials, city officers, city boards, clerk, and traffic utilities.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. I do have some utilities to refer to Public Works Committee for scheduling and advertising. Ward 1, utility grant to location, Mass Electric, 100 Coddington Street. Ward 1, utility grant of election, Mass Electric, Verizon, 587 C Street. Ward 2, utility grant to location, Mass Electric, Verizon, 10 Independence Ave. Ward 3, utility grant to location, Mass Electric, Verizon, 58 Taylor Street. Ward 4, utility grant to location, Mass Electric, Verizon, Willard Street. Ward 6, utility grant to location, Mass Electric, Verizon, 137 Sagamore Street. Traffic request to refer to Ordinance Committee for advertising. Ward 2, Councilor Ash, add handicap parking at 57 Grafton Street. Ward 3, Councilor Hughley, add no parking on the south side of Carlson Street from 18 Carlson to 70 feet west of 18 Carlson Street. Ward 4, Councilor Ryan, remove no parking June through September on Mullen Ave from O'Connell Ave to accepted portion of Mullen Ave. Thank you.
And any communications from the mayor's office? No? Should I act as the mayor? Just kidding. Unfinished business and preceding meetings? None. Reports of committees? We haven't had any, so none. Presentations of petitions, memorials, and remonstrances. Recognizing Councilor Riley.
Yes, I would like to announce the passing of Squantum resident David Mercier, who passed away on Friday. He was the beloved husband of nearly 60 years to his wife, Jerry. They settled in Squantum nearly 60 years ago and raised their 3 daughters, Carolyn, April, and Adrian, who gave them 7 wonderful grandchildren. David began his career as a teller at Colonial Federal Savings Bank and retired as a vice president of State Street Bank and Trust. David was also a proud United States Marine. His services will be held on Friday, 9 to 10 a.m. at the Hammond Lytle Chapel, followed by his funeral mass at Sacred Heart Church. David was a beloved member of the Squantum community and will be deeply missed. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. So I would like to actually take a few minutes to remember and honor some remarkable individuals a little bit more deeply. This past weekend, the city of Quincy lost 3 members of our community we all hold dear: former Mayor Arthur Tobin and his wife Shirley Tobin, and the former Mayor James Sheets. Former Mayor Arthur Tobin devoted his life to public service. Over the course of several decades, he served as the city councilor, council president, state representative, state senator, and the 29th mayor of the city of Quincy from 1978 to 1981. Following his time as mayor, he continued to serve as the clerk magistrate of Quincy District Courts for more than 40 years. His leadership, integrity, and commitment to the people of Quincy left a lasting legacy of our city. Alongside Arthur was his wife, Shirley Tobin. Shirley Tobin was a woman of deep faith, kindness, and quiet strength. She was devoted to her family, active in her church, and known for her love of music, poetry, and learning. Together, Arthur and Shirley shared more than 70 years of marriage, marked by a love and partnership of resilience. They endured the profound loss of their son Matthew, a tragedy that shaped their lives and strengthened their bonds of their family. Arthur and Shirley Tobin will be remembered not only for the public service, but their humanity, their devotion to their family, and the values they lived every day. We also remember former Mayor James Sheets, who passed away this past weekend as well at the age of 90. James Sheets served Quincy as the Ward 4 City Councilor and then as our 31st Mayor of Quincy from 1990 to 2002, guiding the city with dignity, respect, and a deep commitment to the people. Beyond his work as mayor, he was an educator and a mentor who touched countless lives. All three, Arthur Tobin, Shirley Tobin, and James Sheets, will be deeply missed by their families, friends, and the city of Quincy, as well as by many people beyond our community whose lives they've touched. As we honor their memories, I ask that you keep their families in your thoughts and your prayers. Thank you. Does anybody else have any? Councilor Ash.
Through you, Madam President, thank you. Just to add, certainly my condolences to all three families. It's beautiful and sad that the Mr. and Mrs. Tobin will be waked and buried this Thursday and Friday in the same church that they were married 70 years ago. So I certainly wanted to mention that. Married September 5th of 1955, I believe was the date, and they'll be together at the altar where they said their vows on Friday at 10 a.m. and Thursday the viewing hours are 3 to 7, St. John's on School Street. Thank you.
Anybody else have anything to share? Okay. Moving on to scheduling of committee meetings and public hearings. Do we have any meetings to schedule? Unfortunately. Anybody? All right, so our next meeting will be Monday, February 2nd. I think we're going to be starting that one at 6:30 p.m., 6:30 p.m. And then Monday, February 23rd at 6:30 p.m. So motion to adjourn? Second. All those in favor? Thank you very much, everybody.